Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Brew with Matt and Mike. It is a beautiful Tuesday, August 11th. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing today, sir?
Better now. I'm way better now. I was having a good morning, and it just got lifted infinitely more. Like you 2 or 3x'd it with the showing of the glasses. You didn't tell me anything.
Nope.
I have a pair of red glasses similar to that, so I have to repair them now. Apparently, they were a little bit shoddy, so I can't come on here with what you just brought. Man, that's a lot of heat.
Matching blue light blockers.
Yes,
Let's touch on this a little bit. Let's touch on this. Sleep is so important. You have to protect your sleep. And I mean, when you talk about the short-term effects, long-term effects, like we're talking the big-time diseases you want to avoid down the road, dementia, everything. If you're not protecting your sleep, the odds of you picking up stuff when you're older goes way through the roof, and just your focus, your energy. And something I notice about myself is that when I can't fall asleep, I'm not a great sleeper. I'm not a bad sleeper. I'm somewhere in the middle. When I can't fall asleep, it's all my fault. It's no one else's fault because I didn't have the discipline to have a good bedtime routine. And this has just been added in to the routine. I look very funky in it, but I have these red lens glasses that block out blue light because blue light is the ultimate killer for me when I try to go to bed. It's when, the night's winding down. I'm just going to go on social media for 15 minutes before bed. Then I'm rolling around in bed, can't fall asleep. And that's probably my biggest pet peeve in life is not being able to fall asleep when I really want to fall asleep. So this has been added. I would say my advice to people is check out magnesium. That's been huge for my sleep lately. And also just put the phone away at least 30 minutes before bed. An hour is more preferred. And read a book. Reading a book for me helps me fall asleep. But I just wanted to share that tidbit. I got these glasses. I'm looking extra funky around the house. The wife loves it.
I'm happy. I'm happy you're on the blue light blocking red light train. I'm on the red light train. Actually, funny story and a small Badger connection is one of my best friends in college was Philip Welch. You remember that name?
Wait, say that again.
Philip Welch.
Philip Welch, the punter, right?
He was
the
kicker.
Yeah,
kicker for the Badgers for a few years. And he after college finished, he got really into red light and blue light blocking and light health and the science behind all that stuff. So what you've had, man, my guy Phil, he sent me red light panels. He sent me red light like light bulbs. My house is actually full of them. People always kind of like, yo, why are you trying to live in Neo Tokyo vibes? Because I like colored lights. I like to have softer lights. It's very, very important for my mood, for my energy, especially at night. So I recommend that. I've had the blue light blocking glasses for multiple years now. So when you pulled those out, I was like, two P's. Like, what's up, man? Good to see that. So yeah, definitely at night, if you're using them, like I wear them when I'm watching movies at night. Anything really past 7 or 8 o'clock, you're going to see me in my house with some glasses on. So, man, glad you're on the vibes. I like that. I didn't know we had that in common. Hey, look at us. Look at us.
Well, first topic of the day is something very exciting and that probably messed up your sleep a little bit. Is you were just in Switzerland competing in 3-on-3. Talk about that. Give the people an update. I heard you were playing quite well. Wasn't able to watch, but I'm glad that you're back in the saddle again.
Yeah, it was life is sometimes kind of interesting. My life doesn't work like other people's a lot of times. Some of it by choice, some of it by a lot of it by my profession. Being a single male at 36, it's also my birthday. It was my birthday. Yeah, I was gonna say I turned
happy birthday.
Fresh 36. Yeah, a couple days ago, fresh 36. So no, like that. I know that doesn't really happen where all of a sudden you kind of randomly wake up you get an early call on a Tuesday saying, "Hey, you got to go to Switzerland on Thursday." So that's what happened. Our director did a great job of getting us into a tournament. Thank you very much, Oscar. Appreciate the help. And flew out like Thursday night, got into Geneva, Switzerland. Had never been in that part of the world before, never been to Switzerland. Always was told that it's a beautiful place, but just never went there for basketball or any other reasons. I found other places I wanted to go visit and flew into Geneva. And then we took a train down to a city called Vevey. And then we went to Montreux. So that part of Switzerland is very French. Switzerland speaks a couple of different languages, and that part is very French. And my goodness, super beautiful. Highly recommend. Very easy. It's pretty expensive, but man, the train system there, I always forget how efficient European train systems are. I haven't been there in almost 6 or 7 years, and I was like, oh yeah, the public transportation here is they like somebody thought about it, and it's been there for a while. So super easy for Switzerland if you're looking for a beautiful trip with really easy access to where you want to get to up and down using buses and trains. Man, highly recommend Switzerland. The Geneva airport is beautiful, very easy to get on a train. It took us 2 minutes to get to the train from where our gate was. So once we left the airport, super simple. Give me very much Norway vibes. It's a beautiful lake with that's very mountainous around that. So that was cool. And then in terms of the tournament, we got third. We lost in the semifinals. We should have probably went to the finals. We played against a Chinese team that was all Serbians. They were a Chinese-funded team that has a bunch of Serbians playing for them. But we had a chance to win. We lost 21-20. But we played right in front of the lake in this cool plaza area. That's one of my favorite things about the 3x3 journey that I've learned to appreciate is you get to play in these really interesting places. It's not just like, oh, we go to a gym, we see the inside of a gym. A lot of gymnasiums and coliseums and arenas are very similar. They have their differences, but it's like, all right, you have a locker room, you got to walk through here, you get to see it. Whereas now in these 3x3 tournaments, I've gotten to play in front of really interesting buildings and places that you're like, oh, I would actually love to just take some shots here. So that's one of the coolest things about 3x3 that I've really, really appreciated. And it was great to get back in the saddle. I played well, knocked some shots down. I dunked the basketball twice. Let's go.
Oh my.
30 fresh 36 and still dunking the basketball with two hands. So got that going for me. It was a great experience overall. And immediately after we lost, I was, frustrated. And then I went and jumped in Lake Geneva. I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
Life's good.
Like, all right, we lost. I wish we would have won. I wish we could have played better. But then, I got to go jump in the lake and go have some good food with my teammates and just enjoy one night in a beautiful place. So life was really cool. It was really fun to get back on the court. Very thankful that I got to go and do that. I haven't played in a while, so it was very, very fun, and we're going to keep building on that because we have a few tournaments we're going to be going forward here in the next couple of months.
Let's go. And the goal, if you guys don't know, is Mike wants to play in the 2028 Olympics, and the Olympics that's going to be in America, right?
It's in LA.
LA. If you make the Olympics, I promise I'll be there. I'm putting it down right now. I will be in the audience.
Nice.
It'll be an interesting thing though if like America is playing against you. Like I'm
you're rooting for me, Matt. Hold on, nah. There's no interesting thing. I will give you a PR jersey and you're putting that on, and I don't care what you say. Like, no, go, nah, bro. That's not what we doing here. You're putting
I bleed red, white, and blue. I bleed red, white, and blue. But you're right.
Good thing we have red, white, and blue in this flag over here too. Just saying.
Yes, sir. And it is an American territory. Like we're all in the same boat. So
we are.
Yeah.
We are. It's it's a medal for us. So
yeah,
us in a holistic sense.
Yes, 100%. So yeah,
but I do have a topic. Oh, continue. Sorry. Continue.
No, I'm just going to say I promise to be there. And I love to hear that you're dunking in game right on your 36th birthday. No. That would have been the day before, but love to hear
few hours before.
Who knows? Maybe you're going to hit a second prime here. My favorite boxer, Usyk, he was killing it at your age until he was 39. Slowed down a little bit in this last fight, but you never know. There's exceptions to the rule. There's exceptions.
There's not. Time wins. I'm just letting you know there's no second prime.
It wins against everybody, but some guys, Tom Brady at like 47 ran faster in the 40 than he did at 23. I mean, there's exceptions. There's exceptions.
I don't think I'm one of them. I feel completely different than I do even 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So yeah. I completely understand that. But
screw father time,
topics. Man. It is. We have to change topics to your thing now. How was your weekend? I heard you gave a speech. I heard you were, a integral part of a friend's wedding. How'd it go? How was your speech? How did you feel before that?
Okay, so honored to be one of the two best men in this wedding. I don't think I'm going to have another opportunity to be the best man in the wedding, so it was really a neat experience, and it was for obviously someone I care about a lot and his lovely wife. Both of them mean the world to me, so it was an honor that I was up on the stage, and the speech went really, really well. It was a quick turnaround for my honeymoon. So it was honeymoon and then their wedding a few days after. So got working on a little bit later in the game. Wish I had a little bit more rehearsal time, but I gave it the appropriate amount of time, and the speech went really well. And you guys will all get a kick out of this. It's like 2 people went up to my lovely wife and they were like, "Hey, Matt should have like a podcast or a radio show." And then, sure enough, I do.
We're here.
Yeah. So
We're here.
This experience, especially going, I mean, for about a year now, Mike and I have been pretty consistent. 2-3 times a week, hopping on here and just talking for 20 to 30 minutes each, 2 or 3 times a week, which is super helpful skill wise. You build up a skill. If you guys watch an episode from a year ago, both Mike and I can talk much better now than we can back then. So yeah, the speech went really well. Just spoke from the heart and got great feedback. But yeah, it was a neat experience.
Nice. That's great. Those are difficult things. I've had to do it twice. So my question for you is, who did you rehearse in front of? Who was your confidant to practice that speech on?
I did, before I even had my speech finished, I did my wife and her sister, and it was kind of rough because I didn't even have the speech finished. I was like, I'm just going to try to wing it a little bit here. And then I did it in front of my mom, and then I just read it a whole lot. And the big thing is take your time, enjoy the pauses, or let there be pauses, let the audience enjoy it and sink it in. Like if you have a joke and then you just talk right away after it, it's not going to sink in. And what's interesting is I had a few drinks beforehand, definitely was in a good mental state, but just a few. I don't know if it was because I had a few drinks, but I could feel my heart going boom, 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 boom. Nothing too bad, but it definitely was racing a little bit. And I said to myself, I like this feeling. I enjoy this. And Mike and I have talked about this before, but it's a blessing when you're doing something noble or a goal that you have and you feel nervous, you feel a little bit anxious. Like it's good to care about things. There's people out there who don't have a whole lot to care for. So I see it as an absolute blessing. You can use that anxiety as a little bit of extra adrenaline to perform better. And yeah, so when my heart was pounding a little bit, I was like, I like this feeling. I like that I care. And then, yeah, kind of used it and had a good time with it. And then after the speech, I didn't really have many drinks the rest of the night. And I just had a lot of coffee. They had coffee there. And shout out to my squirrel mug here.
I was going to say, that's a nice mug you got there, guy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they had a coffee station, and I was just hammering the decaf coffee. And that's another thing with sleep. I cannot fall asleep if I have coffee anytime after 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm not sleeping, like caffeinated coffee. 2:01, not sleeping that night. So I was just pounding decaf coffee for the love of the game, for the love of the taste. And I was watching Kicking and Screaming on the way home with Will Ferrell, Mike Ditka.
Great film.
And there's a line in there that I just love. And it's by Mike Ditka. He says, "Coffee is the lifeblood that fuels the dreams of champions." I'll say that again. Coffee is the lifeblood that fuels the dreams of champions. And this next topic we're going to discuss quickly is iced coffee versus hot coffee. I'm a hot coffee guy, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but if you're offended by this, that's your problem. Coffee feels so natural, so hearty. As a man who wants to maximize his testosterone, I feel like a nice warm cup of coffee just gets me feeling like I channel my masculine energy. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energetic. The T levels feel through the roof. I can't say the same when I drink iced coffee. I do enjoy the change up of iced coffee. I don't dislike it, but if I'm trying to get things done, I'm trying to chase my dreams, iced coffee ain't cutting it. Hot coffee. You think a guy like Mike Ditka is drinking iced coffees or he's getting cute with his coffee? No. He's drinking hot coffee, and he's limiting anything else that's being put in there. I admit I don't go full black coffee. I like to throw, maybe some collagen in there, a little bit heavy whipping cream, but I don't get too cute, right? We're staying close to black coffee.
I like that. I like that energy. First of all, I did not know that. I forgot about that line in that movie. Is there a T-shirt of that? Like, I don't know why that's not a T-shirt. I think I'm sure
there is. I love that.
We can maybe license it. We can maybe license it and try and make a little side money here at the Brew. What is it again? We're fueled by champions. Coffee is the drink that fuels dreams.
I just exited the tab. I believe it's coffee is the lifeblood that fuels the dreams of winners.
Champions. You said champions. So champions. Even better. Yeah, that's an important distinction. Winners, champions, two different things, because those winning and champions are two different classes. That's something we can get into later. Now, Yeah, for me, I'm definitely a hot coffee person. But I don't like, the one thing that I actually do, I've started to do is I put my coffee in my blender because I add a couple of things to it, and
Yeah,
it makes it the perfect amount of froth, as well as it cools it down just enough so where when I have my first sip, I don't regret it for the next 3 days.
it's ready to go.
So that's big and that's crucial for me because when you first get your first sip of coffee in the morning, you're like, "Ooh, I'm ready for this," and you might be
Yeah.
a little, it might be a little antsy, might be a little bit too early in the game. It's the same thing with pizza, right? You smell pizza, you see pizza, and you're like, "Oh, I should have a bite of that," and then it's instant regret because it's molten
Yes.
lava in your mouth. So
Yes.
yeah, so I would say that's a big piece for me is I got to make sure that my coffee is the right temperature, but definitely warm. I've had a few iced coffees in my day. I had my little stint, especially in the summer. Sometimes in the summer, it's a nice little break if you're going to go sit outside and you're like, oh, okay, it's already warm. It's maybe a later in the day coffee. I can understand that. But man, overall, I always get very disappointed with iced coffee because I feel like I should want more. Like
Yeah.
there's still weight in this cup, but it's not coffee. And there's remnants of coffee on the ice. And I'm like, why is that not for me? Like, why does the ice get that? And then I have to wait, and then it melts, and then it's like this terrible, fringe of a coffee water that you're like, maybe I should drink that. And then when you do, you're just instantly disappointed because you lost the good taste that you had before. So yeah, I agree with you. I used to get some like iced mochas in the middle of the afternoon. Sometimes it's nice, but man, overall in the morning, if I'm starting, nope, coffee, cream. If they have butter, high fat butter is better for me. That's what I use, and that's more my swag because I like to be on more a high fat diet. Um, yeah, I agree with you. Hot coffee is the way to go. If Ditka's doing it, I think I should do it too.
Yeah, men like Ditka are not getting cute with their coffee. That kind of man right there is not getting cute. So that's
Nope.
that's the energy I want to embody in my life. And I feel kind of bad because the guy whose speech I just did as his best man, he's a big iced coffee guy. So if he's watching this, you kind of inspired me to talk about this, but I promise it's not a shot at you. Love you very much, brother. And then I'm gonna
I'm taking a
have
shot at him. He's soft. I don't care. I don't know him. He's soft. I don't even know
oh,
his name.
oh
Soft.
no. Oh no. I love him. I love my best man, but he's gonna remember you said that moving forward. He's gonna remember that.
Sounds like something he's gonna have to deal with in therapy later in life, and I'm not
Well,
paying for it.
you know what? though? At this point of the game, it's one viewer at a time. We're not in the business of taking shots at our
Oh, you're right.
viewers.
My fault. My fault. My fault.
Yes, but I'll send another shot out there. I'll send one to my cousin Kyle, fellow 36-year-old wonderful guy. Guess
Love
how
that.
he likes his coffee?
With lavender, which is actually underrated. It's quite good.
Lukewarm coffee. He doesn't like it hot. He doesn't like it cold. He wants room temperature coffee.
I can understand that.
Wow.
I can
I just
understand
kind of
that.
had room temperature coffee, and
That's what I'm saying.
don't
Like, I can
understand
understand that. I have that. I don't say I like it. It's not like something I look forward to, but I will say, like, I probably drink half of my pot of coffee and then I will usually go lift weights or do something and then I come back and finish it. So, and I look forward to the flavor, not necessarily sometimes I'll heat it up a little bit, but I can understand where lukewarm coffee is okay. It's
All
not the
right,
ideal, but it's okay.
you're just looking out for your fellow 36-year-old. I
Yeah,
think you guys are
obviously,
just
like
sticking
new
together
group.
here.
Yeah, I got the new group syndrome. Like, what am I supposed to do? We're hanging out in the same age group. Like, can't be alienating myself on day two.
I had, for some reason, all my favorite people are like 36 years old. I don't know, you, and then two of my cousins that I love dearly, 36. My buddy Tyler, the one I play basketball with once, twice a week. Fantastic guy. I was going to have the best table of just 36-year-olds. If you were there, I was going to force you to
90s,
sit by
90s,
my
1990s
family.
babies.
Yeah.
1990s babies. We got all the good stuff. We got all the good stuff generationally because we were still young enough to be from like that area where we didn't have cell phones when we first grew up. Everybody still had landlines. The commercials were better. There's just things in the 90s that were from 90 to like 93. That's a good group right there.
We'll wrap this on up talking about that last spot. So, Wisconsin's roster, 2026-27 roster is basically set, but they have one scholarship spot still available. Guard in July said he's evaluating what they're going to do with that last spot. Braeden Carrington is a very interesting possibility. What are your thoughts there, Mike, on how Wisconsin's handling this? They have Carrington practicing, hoping that he gets a waiver or the court ruling to get one more year of eligibility. What are your thoughts?
I think it's great, in terms of how I don't think they can handle it any other way. It's, hey, come on campus, come hang out with us, come practice with us, be a part of the team, be a part of, what you know. Also, the fact that he was there last year, very, very easy for him to be there, I'm sure. He's very comfortable there. That's one of the things that I always enjoyed. If I got to go back to a team or a country that I've played in before, is I knew what was happening. I knew where I was. I knew what I was doing. I was able to just like relax mentally. There wasn't quite that mental load of, oh man, this is a new place. I got to figure things out. So, and in terms of the landscape of college basketball, I mean, it's kind of ever changing. It's really changed so drastically every year for the last, basically since COVID. Things have changed. Guys are starting to get paid. The rules are changing. Who can stay, who cannot. I think we're in this like last little bit of lawsuits for the amount of eligibility that's going to be. We've talked about the 5-for-5 and just how they're trying to navigate this. But I think Wisconsin's done a great job. Bring him in, have him work out. If he can play for us, it's like, all right, cool. No, nothing changes. You just get to come in and now you got to roll in classes or figure some stuff out. And if something does change, like, it's a benefit for Carrington because it's, hey, I'm staying in shape. He's going to go and get a professional contract somewhere. He's going to go play in a pro league. Not sure where, if he stays in the U.S. for the G League and trying to make the NBA, or if he, just jumps over to Europe or an overseas league, wherever that may be. But he's going to get an opportunity to go play for money somewhere, whether it's in college or when he starts his professional career. So I think for them, they're handling it great. This is the best way to do it. And if he gets to join that roster, man, that makes the flexibility and the continuity of this team even more dangerous, which is great.
Yeah. Bringing back Carrington would be an absolute game changer because of the depth and also the fact that I believe Carrington's a guy who's just scratching the surface of his potential when you look at his year-over-year improvement throughout college. Like, his stats were not too aesthetically pleasing his first 3 years of college, and this last year, like, he leveled up big time. So he might be a late bloomer who's just beginning to show what he can do and build off of what he did last year. So that would be huge for him and Wisconsin. And I think that's a great stopping point. Mike, congrats on playing really well in Switzerland. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for making it to the end of this video. Feel free to hit that subscribe button on my channel, on Mike's channel, and we will be back again very soon.